I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and uncomfortable that I got screamed at. And I would cry walking off set. This person would literally look at me in front of the whole crew and say, "You call yourself an actor, this is what I have to work with. What is this?" And I stood there just breaking. This happens. But because this person was number one on a call sheet, there was no safety net for me. So no one had my back. And I remember the next day I walked on and I said, "You get off my set." It's the first time I've ever spoken. I remember being so scared. And I looked at this person and I said, "You can F off. I'm going to work towards a tennis ball. I never want to see you again." And then I remember the producers came up and said, "You can't do this to number one. We have to let this person be on set." And I said, "But the person can turn around and I can act it to the back head."
Have you ever looked at a perfectly polished diamond and wondered if it was real? That's the unsettling question now hovering over Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Their image, a beacon of Hollywood charm and relatable perfection, is being scrutinized, and the accusations are shattering the illusion.
Blake Lively's Instagram followers have dropped from 45.2 million to 44.9 million since the 17th of January this year.
Imagine the scene, a hushed gathering of industry insiders, whispers turning into heated debates, the air thick with disbelief. Stories are emerging, not just of minor missteps, but of calculated scheme, of exploiting positions of power for personal gain. It's a narrative woven with threads of alleged intellectual property theft, manipulative business practices, and a cold disregard for the people caught in their wake.
Believe it or not, the biggest failure of Blake Lively's career is not this moment. It's not even this moment. Not saying something because this movie got a 5 on Rotten Tomatoes out of 100. The biggest stumble in Blake's career was this. And I'm gonna need you to watch the first 10 seconds of the intro video. Just tell me, ballpark, what you think it's about, because you're not gonna guess it. Preserve was Blake Lively's attempt at a goop pivot.
Think of the small-town designer, their work allegedly copied and sold for profit, or the aspiring actor, their dreams allegedly crushed by a celebrity's whims. The public, once captivated by their fairy tale romance and effortless success, now grapples with the possibility that it was all a meticulously crafted illusion. Are they victims of a vicious smear campaign, or are they architects of an elaborate deception? The truth, as it unfolds, is far more complex and far more disturbing than any tabloid headline could capture.
28-year-old actress will take down Preserve on October 9th. Blake launched the site in July 2014, but tells Vogue she doesn't want to continue with something that her and her team are, quote, not proud of. She goes on to explain, quote, "We launched the site before it was ready, and it never caught up to its original mission. It's not making a difference in people's lives, whether superficially or in a meaningful way."
And just when you thought that Blake's sticky fingers were only snatching from Etsy shops,
It's a story of power, betrayal, and the fragile nature of fame, a cautionary tale that leaves us questioning who we truly admire. Picture a bustling artisan market where dreams are woven into every handcrafted piece. Now imagine those dreams being snatched, copied, and profited from by a celebrity powerhouse. That's the chilling narrative emerging around Blake Lively.
The thing Blake Lively loves to do is tell on herself. So in a newly resurfaced interview from 2009 in Glamour magazine, Blake Lively opened up about how she tried to poison the cast of Gossip Girl against Penn Badgley. So we now know that she had Mr. Armie Hammertime fired from Gossip Girl after just 4 episodes, and now it appears she tried to do the same thing to Penn Badgley. Apparently she wasn't too pleased with Mr. Badgley when he was first cast. She didn't like the choice, so she tried to taint the rest of the cast against him, but once they realized what a good guy he was, she realized that she lost the battle.
Allegations paint a picture of a star who allegedly used her influence to exploit smaller creators, allegedly appropriating their designs without credit or compensation. It's not just about borrowing inspiration, it's about the alleged systematic dismantling of small businesses, the crushing of creative spirit. Imagine the feeling of betrayal, the sinking realization that your hard work has been used as a mere stepping stone for someone else's gain. And it's not just about design, it extends to her film career. Claims suggest she allegedly leveraged her star power to claim executive producer credits without genuine involvement, effectively rewriting the narrative of her contributions. This isn't just about business, it's about the erosion of trust, the shattering of the illusion that Hollywood is a meritocracy. Was Blake a shrewd businesswoman or a master manipulator who left a trail of broken dreams in her wake? The evidence, as they say, is in the details, and the details are painting a damning portrait, one that challenges the very foundation of her public image. Imagine a grand opening, a celebration of artisanal craftsmanship and curated living, only to watch watch. The dream dissolve into a pile of overpriced, uninspired goods. That was the reality of Blake Lively's Preserve. But the real story isn't just about a failed business venture. It's about the alleged methods used to build that empire. Whispers claim that Lively and her team allegedly operated under a veil of deception, sourcing samples from unsuspecting small creators under false pretenses, allegedly copying their designs, and then cutting them out entirely. Picture the feeling of violation, the sense of being used and discarded, your creativity exploited for someone else's profit. It's not just a business failure, it's a moral one, a betrayal of the very community it claimed to champion. Preserve wasn't just ahead of its time, it was allegedly built on a foundation of stolen ideas and broken trust. Was it a genuine attempt to create something unique, or a calculated scheme to profit from the creativity of others? The truth, as always, is far more complicated and far more scandalous than the glossy facade. It's a story that exposes the dark side of ambition, the lengths some are willing to go to in the pursuit of success. Imagine stepping onto a set, a world you've dreamed of, only to find yourself isolated, targeted, and ostracized by the very person you're supposed to be working alongside. That's the chilling narrative emerging from the Gossip Girl set, with Blake Lively at the center. Allegations paint a picture of a star who allegedly used her influence to turn the cast against Penn Badgley, creating a hostile environment for her co-star. Picture the tension, the unspoken animosity, the feeling of being constantly watched and judged, knowing that someone is actively working to undermine you. It wasn't just about a personality clash, it was about alleged manipulation, a calculated attempt to damage a colleague's career. And it didn't stop there. Allegedly, Armie Hammer also felt the sharp edge of Lively's influence, leading to his early departure from the show. Was it just youthful drama, or a pattern of behavior that reveals a darker side? The stories from the Gossip Girl set paint a picture of a power dynamic gone awry, a reminder that even in the world of glitz and glamour, personal vendettas can leave lasting scars. It's a story of how unchecked power can corrupt, how ambition can turn toxic, and how the pursuit of fame can sometimes come at the expense of others. Picture a press tour, the smiles and laughter for the cameras, but beneath the surface, a simmering tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. That's the alleged dynamic between Blake Lively and her co-stars, from Leighton Meester to Anna Kendrick to Justin Baldoni. It's not just about creative differences, it's about alleged power plays, manipulation, and a pattern of creating hostile work environment. Imagine the feeling of being constantly undermined, of having your contributions minimized, of being forced to walk on eggshells, knowing that any wrong move could ignite a conflict. These aren't just isolated incidents. They're a pattern, a series of alleged clashes that paint a disturbing picture of a star who allegedly demands control, who allegedly thrives on conflict, and who leaves a trail of bruised egos in her wake. Was it just a series of unfortunate misunderstandings, or a reflection of a deeper personality flaw? The stories from these sets paint a picture of a star who allegedly needs to be the center of attention, who sees her co-stars as competition, and who leaves a trail of resentment in her wake. It's a story of how the pursuit of stardom can turn toxic, how ambition can overshadow collaboration, and how the illusion of perfection can mask a darker reality. Imagine a director with a vision, a creative force ready to bring a story to life, only to find their project hijacked, their ideas sidelined, their authority usurped. That's the alleged experience of Tim Miller on the set of Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds, it's claimed, took over the project, transforming it into his personal playground, his own creative fiefdom. Picture the frustration, the sense of betrayal, the feeling of having your work taken from you, your vision replaced by someone else's. It wasn't just about creative input, it was about alleged absolute control, a my way or the highway attitude that left no room for collaboration. And Miller wasn't alone. Other co-stars like TJ Miller and Morena Baccarin also allegedly experienced the sharp edge of Reynolds' control, finding their roles diminished, their contributions minimized. Was it just passion for the project, or a sign of an ego unchecked? The stories from the Deadpool set paint a picture of a star who allegedly demands absolute control, who allegedly sees collaboration as a threat, and who leaves a trail of creative casualties in his wake. It's a story of how the pursuit of creative control can lead to conflict, how ambition can overshadow collaboration, and how the illusion of stardom can mask a darker reality. Picture a comedic actor, known for their sharp wit and irreverent humor, suddenly finding themselves on the receiving end of a barrage of insults, not in character, but in real life. That's the alleged experience of TJ Miller on the set of Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds, it's claimed, treated him with disdain, humiliation, and a complete lack of respect. Imagine the confusion, the sense of being targeted for no apparent reason, the feeling of being constantly belittled, knowing that someone is actively trying to undermine you. It wasn't just about on-set banter. It was about alleged personal attacks, a pattern of behavior that left Miller feeling deeply wounded, and he wasn't alone. Morena Baccarin, the film's leading lady, was also allegedly iced out, removed from promotions and excluded from cast interactions. Was it just a clash of personalities, or a sign of a deeper insecurity? The stories from from the Deadpool set paint a picture of a star who allegedly needs to be the center of attention, who allegedly sees his co-stars as competition, and who leaves a trail of resentment in his wake. It's a story of how the pursuit of stardom can turn toxic, how ambition can overshadow collaboration, and how the illusion of perfection can mask a darker reality. Imagine meeting your idol, a celebrity you've admired for years, only to find them rude, dismissive, and utterly unlikable. That's the alleged experience of the Jersey Shore cast when they encountered Ryan Reynolds. It's not just about a bad day, it's about a pattern of behavior that suggests a deeper issue. Picture the disappointment, the sense of disillusionment, the feeling of having your perception shattered, realizing the person you admired is nothing like their public image. It wasn't just about a brief encounter, it was about a stark contrast between the carefully crafted public persona and the alleged private reality. And the Jersey Shore cast isn't alone in their experience. Other actors, like Rebecca Ferguson, have shared stories of nightmare co-stars, hinting at a pattern of behavior that aligns with Reynolds' alleged reputation. Was it just a series of unfortunate encounters, or a reflection of a deeper personality flaw? The stories paint a picture of a star who allegedly struggles with insecurity, who allegedly needs constant validation, and who leaves a trail of awkward encounters and bruised egos in his wake. It's a story that exposes the fragile nature of celebrity, the gap between perception and reality, and the human flaws that even the most adored stars can possess. Imagine the vulnerability of an actor, pouring their heart and soul into a performance, only to be met with a barrage of insults and humiliation from a co-star. That's the chilling narrative shared by Rebecca Ferguson, who recounted a nightmare experience with a fellow actor who made her life on set a living hell. Picture the scene, a respected actress standing her ground against a torrent of verbal abuse, her talent questioned, her professionalism undermined. It wasn't just about creative differences, it was about alleged personal attacks, a pattern of behavior that left Ferguson feeling deeply traumatized and emotionally drained. And while Ferguson kept the identity of her tormentor a secret, the details of her story have ignited speculation, with many wondering if it could be Ryan Reynolds, given his alleged reputation for on-set control and difficult behavior. Was it just an isolated incident, or a reflection of a deeper pattern of behavior? The story paints a picture of a star who allegedly struggles with insecurity, who allegedly lashes out at others to mask their own vulnerabilities, and who leaves a trail of emotional damage in their wake. It's a story that highlights the dark side of Hollywood, the power dynamics that can lead to abuse, and the courage it takes to speak out against it. Imagine a once tight-knit community, a circle of friends and colleagues, slowly but surely distancing themselves from a powerful figure. That's the alleged scenario unfolding around Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, as whispers of their alleged behavior spread through Hollywood. The industry, once a staunch supporter of the golden couple, is now reportedly starting to turn against them, with former colleagues and friends allegedly keeping their distance. Picture the subtle shifts in social circles, the absence from key events, the hushed conversations behind closed doors. It's not just about a few isolated incidents. It's about a growing sense of unease, a collective realization that the carefully crafted image might be masking a darker reality. Even the once loyal fans are beginning to question their allegiances as the stories of alleged exploitation, manipulation, and on-set conflicts continue to surface. Is it a coordinated effort to bring down a powerful couple, or a genuine reflection of their alleged actions? The reaction from Hollywood, the subtle but significant shifts in the industry's landscape, suggest that the truth is far more complex and far more damning than any tabloid headline could capture. It's a story of how power can isolate, how secrets can unravel, and how even the most carefully constructed facades can crumble under the weight of their own deception.